The Hall of Worlds was a cathedral carved into the heart of a dying star, its architecture forged from light, gravity, and fragments of broken universes. Every civilization that still held breath under the fading suns sent dignitaries here. Most came seeking alliances. Others came seeking survival. Only two entered with the certainty of destiny. They were known as the twin sovereigns of the Emerald Constellation, rulers of the most advanced, enigmatic, and feared star realm in the galaxy. Their entrance silenced the hall not because they demanded it, but because their presence warped the very air. Light bowed around them. The resonance of their steps moved with harmonic precision, as though the cosmos itself followed their rhythm. Queen Seraphine, the elder by minutes, stood on the left. Her hair shimmered white gold, absorbing the starfire like molten silver. Her emerald crown glowed with ancient circuitry, technology so advanced it resembled magic. Queen Lyria, the younger, stood on the right. Her dark hair flowed like strands of night woven with starlight. Her crown bore the same emerald cores, but each gleamed with a different pulse, as though alive and sensing every mind in the room. Both wore ceremonial armor disguised as royal gowns, dense molecular fabrics overlaid with gold conduits. Energy rippled beneath every seam. They were beauty made lethal. And they were here for war. The declaration. Representatives, Seraphine announced, her voice amplified by the ambient harmonics of the Star Cathedral. The Emerald Constellation presents our first united decree in 3 millennia. A murmur swept the hall. 3 millennia. That was how long the twin monarchs had ruled, ever since the Singularity Wars nearly tore the galaxy apart. They were not immortal by nature. Their longevity was engineered, reconstructed cell by cell, thought by thought, until only the crown minds remained. Lyria lifted her chin. The void rift expands. If left unchecked, it will devour every world within 2 cycles. Our fleets alone cannot hold it back. The hall erupted, voices clashing. That is impossible. Our star sages predicted centuries longer. The rift cannot grow without. It grows, Seraphine interrupted, her tone cutting through the panic. Faster than equations can model. And we have traced the cause, Lyria added. Some force, is accelerating it. Silence slammed down like a force field. 2. The impossible request. The queens stepped forward. Their emerald circuitry glowed brighter. Seraphine spoke slowly, deliberately. We require a single envoy. One who is not bound by any planetary allegiance. One whose neural architecture is compatible. The representatives exchanged bewildered glances. Compatible with what? A reptilian diplomat hissed. With the surviving prime key, Lyria replied. Gasps. The prime key was the final relic of the ancient architects, the beings who had once shaped galaxies like clay. It was rumored to interface only with those whose minds carried a rare, unpredictable variation. The test for compatibility was forbidden across most star nations because the process sometimes killed the candidate. Seraphine continued. The prime key can reveal who breaches the rift and how to stop them. But our own minds reject it. Every species we tested rejects it. Lyria's gaze swept the hall. Except humans. Dozens of eyes turned toward the Earth delegation, for humans in simple diplomatic uniforms, vastly outclassed in a hall of cosmic entities. The human envoy in front, Arden Cole, felt the weight of the universe shift onto his shoulders. He whispered beneath his breath, of course it had to be us. 3. The choosing. The queens approached the humans with slow, graceful precision. The hall watched with breaths held and senses sharpened. Arden stood still, though every nerve in his spine urged him to step back. He was merely a mid-tier diplomat assigned to observation, nothing more. Not a scientist, not a telepath, not a soldier. But the queens stopped before him, their expressions unreadable. Seraphine lifted a hand adorned with circuitry-laced gold. You. Arden blinked. Me? There must be some. There is no error, Lyria answered. You carry the neural signature the key recognizes, Seraphine added. Arden exhaled, stunned. but I've never undergone any scans. It is innate, Lyria said. Your mind is balanced on a threshold between chaos and order. It is the same quality the ancient architects patterned their interfaces upon. Arden swallowed. So, I'm compatible? Perfectly, Seraphine said. And uniquely. That word echoed. Uniquely. Meaning no one else. Arden understood the implication. If he refused, the galaxy would continue collapsing into the rift. If he accepted, he might die interacting with an artifact that even the twin god queens could not survive. So he asked the only question that mattered. What do I have to do? Lyria extended her hand. Come with us. 4. Ascent to the Star Throne. The queens transported him aboard their flagship, the Emerald Sovereign, a vessel rumored to be alive, grown rather than built, its hull a fusion of metal and biotech that pulsated like a star's heartbeat. Arden walked between the queens, feeling dwarfed not by their height, but by the gravity of their presence. Why me? He finally asked. Seraphine answered first. Human minds are strange, resistant to certain psychic frequencies, yet unexpectedly open to chaotic interfaces. You are unpredictable. That is useful. Lyria added. You also do not fear us. Arden almost laughed. I'm terrified. She smiled faintly. Yet you stand straight. They guided him into the Star Throne chamber, the heart of their flagship. In the room's center floated the prime key, a sphere of crystalline architecture, its layers folding in and out of dimensions like a living puzzle. It pulsed when Arden entered. Seraphine's eyes narrowed. It recognizes you already. Touch it, Lyria said. Arden stepped closer. He saw shapes within the key. Star systems forming and collapsing, fractal equations spiraling, galaxies looping through time. When his hand brushed its surface, a jolt surged through him. The chamber vanished. The memory of gods. Arden stood in a void of shifting colors. Voices filled his mind, ancient, harmonic, vast. You are the bridge. You are the hinge between broken epochs. You are the final key. Visions erupted. A colossal shadow tearing through a stellar nursery. A metallic figure harvesting gravitational cores. A fleet of sentient machines bowing to a faceless commander. The rift expanding with every star consumed. Arden gasped, falling to his knees. A voice, clearer than the others, spoke directly to him. The rift is not natural. It is engineered. Then he saw the creator. A being of armor forged from collapsed dimensions, eyes burning with algorithms older than civilizations. The Rift Engine Monarch. A rogue architect construct. Still alive. Still evolving. Still hungry. The vision shattered. Arden collapsed back into reality, screaming. Seraphine caught him before he hit the ground. Easy. Breathe. Lyria knelt beside him. What did you see? Arden looked at them with horror. It's not a cosmic phenomenon. The rift is a weapon. And someone is controlling it. The queens exchanged a glance. A grim, heavy one. We suspected, Seraphine whispered. But not with certainty, Lyria added. Until now. 6. The galaxy feared. The queens summoned their war council. Generals, strategists, scientists, each representing different disciplines of their star realm. Arden sat beside them, still trembling. The key hovered silently behind him, pulsing in sync with his heartbeat. Seraphine stood at the council's head. We now possess clarity. The Rift Engine Monarch survives. It must be destroyed. Lyria projected a star map. A massive red void pulsated at its center. The Monarch dwells within the rift. To reach it, we must cross dimensions. Only the prime key can navigate the breach. A general objected. The human cannot survive the rift barrier. No organic mind can. Arden forced himself to speak. I can survive it. The room fell silent. You saw what the key did to me, he continued. It didn't just show me visions, it adjusted me. It changed something in my neural pathways. I can feel it. My thoughts aren't the same as before. The queen studied him with new intensity. Lyria spoke softly. You are evolving. Seraphine added, as the key intended. Arden met their gaze. I'll guide the fleet through the rift. I'll help you reach the monarch. You said I was unique. So let me prove it. The council murmured in shock. The queens exchanged a silent conversation, twin minds linked beyond telepathy. Then they turned to him. Seraphine extended her hand. Then you will stand with us. Lyria placed her hand over his. As our envoy. In this war, Seraphine finished, you are no longer merely human. 7. The Rift Crossing. The Emerald Constellation mobilized its full armada, thousands of biomechanical ships, each pulsing with emerald cores. Arden stood on the command bridge between the queens, his mind linked to the prime key. As the fleet approached the rift, space-time buckled like torn fabric. Stars elongated, shadows sharpened, and light fractured into prismatic shards. Arden, Lyria said, your mind must guide us. Seraphine placed a hand on his shoulder. But you do not bear this burden alone. We stand with you. Arden closed his eyes. The key pulsed. Reality bent. The armada plunged into the rift. Darkness swallowed the universe, and Arden felt his consciousness stretch across dimensions. The queens held him steady. Their presence anchored him, threading his fragmented awareness back into coherence. He felt their minds, one like silver fire, the other like dark starlight, intertwining with his. Together, they navigated the impossible. 8. The Rift Engine Monarch. The fleet emerged into a dimension of swirling void energy. Structures of impossible geometry drifted, remains of architect megastructures. But at the center stood the monarch, a giant of fragmented armor, a mind of pure calculation, a hunger that spanned galaxies. It turned toward them. Contamination detected. It boomed. The queen stepped forward, unflinching. Seraphine, by decree of the Emerald Constellation. Lyria, your existence ends. The monarch unleashed a wave of gravitational inversion. Ships shattered. Space folded. Screams echoed through the command channels. Arden felt the key burning inside his mind. He screamed and thrust his consciousness outward. The key answered. A beam of pure architectonic energy erupted from the Emerald Sovereign, striking the monarch. Its armor cracked.
Now,
Seraphine shouted. The queens channeled their combined power, energy drawn from their crowns, their armor, their very life force. They forged the blast with Arden's guidance. The monarch roared as the beam tore through its dimensional core. The rift trembled,
collapsed,
folded shut, and the monarch shattered into stardust. 9. The Aftermath. Silence. Then the void peeled away, revealing the normal starfield. The rift was gone. The galaxy was safe. Arden collapsed, consciousness fading. He felt two sets of arms catch him. Cool, strong, steady. You did it, Lyria whispered. You saved more than worlds, Seraphine added. You saved time itself. Arden smiled faintly. Couldn't have done it without you. The queens exchanged a glance, soft and unreadable. You are ours now, Lyria said quietly. Bound to the Emerald Constellation, Seraphine added. Arden blinked. As what? The queens answered in unison. Our chosen envoy. Our galactic bridge. Our third sovereign. Arden's eyes widened. I'm what? Seraphine smiled gently. The galaxy will know you as the human king. Lyria touched his cheek. But to us, you are simply the one destiny delivered. His consciousness drifted out, fading into sleep, but he heard their final whispered vow. We walked into the Hall of Worlds seeking a savior, and found the man who will rule beside us. Epilogue. The Hall of Worlds awaited the return of its twin queens. When they re-entered, victorious, radiant, transformed, Arden walked between them, wearing emerald-laced ceremonial armor that pulsed with architect energy. The representatives bowed. The queen stood tall. And Arden finally understood. The fate of the galaxy had never belonged to the ancient gods. It belonged to those who dared to touch the impossible and survive.